All right, welcome back to Chalk Talk with Chuck. This is Chuck. I'm here with Jalen. Week 7 preview. Jalen, how you doing?
Good, man. Got a great Monday night football game. Super happy the Bills pulled that one out. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, good week of football.
yeah, we're coming at you. Yeah, a fun week of football. We're coming at you live October 14th. It's 10 o'clock p.m. Uh, Mountain Time. Just watched the Bills game, and yeah, it was nice to have the weekend like that. We had a bunch of games that felt like they were on the verge of being really good. They had all the ingredients to be as fun as that game was, but didn't quite get over the hump. And then we got sort of everything in the Monday night game. Two doinks,
Yeah, which
which was
the
awesome.
primetime games are just it's so hit or miss. Like either you get an awesome game like this or you get just a blowout.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this game, were there other games this week that I thought had the ingredients to be great, right? You had the Lamar versus Jaden Daniels, which was a good, not great game. Um, this game on paper, I think when you look back on it, you're gonna say most penalties called, most penalty yards in a game all season, bunch of missed field goals, 23-20 doesn't seem like the best game, but I think it was the best game this week, and it was a lot of fun. It was fun. I think part of the reason it was fun is the Jets' offense kind of finally seemed to look a little bit more free and open.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you how you thought the Jets offense looked because I know they only put up 20 points, but it seemed like they were moving the ball a lot better. It seemed like Brees Hall
Yeah.
got a lot more involved, which like he should be doing this. He should be this involved every game. There's no excuse why he shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, so a couple things like they finally seemed to use Brees Hall correctly. When they were out, if I'm a Jets fan, I'm bummed I'm 2-4 and we fired our head coach and this was supposed to be the year, yada 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 yada. That looked like a team that could play well. I know that you only put up 20 points, but weird wind situation in the stadium, lots of missed field goals. You know, your kicker missed pretty two field goals I think that he would have made otherwise had the weather not been the way it was today. So easy to look at this as a negative. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm actually pretty happy the offense looked all right.
Yeah, and I mean at the end of the day, you're 1-1 in the division. You're only a game behind the Bills, so it's not over by any means, even though you're 2-4.
No, and the bottom of the AFC is, that final wild card spot's going to be really scrappy. I mean, who are they competing with? The Bengals, the Colts, I mean, outside of the Bengals and the Colts and maybe the Chargers, I don't even want to say the Chargers. Like who's competing for that final spot? Um, they should be just fine.
Yeah, agreed.
So, but a good week. We usually start off with the hate list. I'd like the people to know that Jalen's keeping it from last week, which I love. I kept T Law on there for him. Nick Sirianni, who embarrassed himself again this week. Wide receivers running the ball, which continues to be absolutely infuriating to me. The Bears offense, which is wholly inconsistent, especially the receiving situation, and the Chiefs, because we all hate the Chiefs. And I only have one addition. I'll be taking having to watch the Steelers off because they won this week and replacing it with the Cowboys. Um, I, I hate. So last year, I've never taken Cowboys players in fantasy. I've always thought they were overhyped. I always thought Des Bryant was overhyped. I always thought Tony Romo was overhyped because they played in Dallas. And I know that they're all great players, but I always just avoided them in fantasy. And this year, I swallowed my pride and I said, no, you know what? Dak played great last year, and he was a great fantasy quarterback. And CeeDee Lamb was a great wide receiver. And I'm going to stack them in my two QB league, and it's going to be great. And in week 7 or in week 5 or 6, when I played Jalen, I'm going to beat him. And I didn't. You beat me by 30 points because Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb combined for 17 points. I fucking hate watching the Dallas off. It doesn't make that much sense to me. I mean, Dak isn't that bad, and CD is obviously good, but
They can't
oh
find the end zone this year. And that's what was making
no.
CD so good last year is he was catching so many touchdowns at the end of the season. And I feel like they're not forcing the ball to him like they were towards the last like I don't know 7 or 8 weeks of last year. I felt like every week when I was checking the stats, he was getting like I don't know 13, 12, 13 catches.
Yeah, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you just paid him so much money. But even this week, so this week, if I told you CD Lamb got 14 targets, you'd probably be like, "Oh man, that's probably a pretty big fantasy week." No, because he only caught 7 of them, and it was for only 89 yards. I mean, it's their offense. Even when they were playing the Steelers last week, their offense looked bad. It looked really bad, and they kind of, I don't know. To me, it seems like maybe it's over. This sort of era of Dallas football is over, and I know that I think Dak has a contract thing coming up. I don't know how you bring him back. I don't know what you do.
I thought they
I don't
just
know
paid
how.
him.
Or maybe they just paid him. It was one of the. It's
I
one of
thought
those
they did,
situations where
yeah.
they. Yeah. So now what? You've got these two guys making gobs of money. They're gonna end up firing Fat Mike McCarthy. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, Dak doesn't make that much money. He only makes 60 million. So,
Right. But at the
yeah.
time, it was the biggest contract, right? See, for some reason, I thought that he has
I
like a.
think it is the biggest still.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, because they just signed him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they
Oh,
just signed
okay.
him like
I
this
don't know.
offseason, I
Sorry,
think.
it's late. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, they just signed him to the biggest contract. That's right. The contract before that wasn't that impressive. Um, but even then, the contract before that was the highest paid contract. Um, oh yeah, he's only making 60 million a year, casual. I'm an idiot. Um, I thought it was a 60 million over 10 thing or something. I don't know. It's late. Forgive me, people, for not catching Jalen's joke. Dallas, yeah, they're miserable to watch, dude. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I don't like at times, like against you guys, I thought Dowdle played really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it seems like he has these flashes where you're like, oh, that guy could probably, probably deserves to get the ball a little bit more. But then, like, I don't even know if he rushed for 30 yards this week. And then you have like Jalen Tolbert catches 2 touchdowns against you guys, looking like he's gonna kind of start getting mixed in the offense more with Brandon Cooks being out, and then like he just no showed this week, which I don't know. The game was kind of over in the first half, and it felt like the Cowboys quit. So I don't really know what to make of this week. Like it feels like every time they're cutting away to a commercial, CD Lamb's just looking at the camera like, you guys see what I'm playing with right now? And like every week there's a clip of him talking to Dak on the bench. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Cowboys, but I mean, I don't
I
know
mean,
who is
those
gonna
are two
take that team
untradeable
serious.
contracts.
Well, I don't know if the Lamb is untradeable because he's a wide
CD
receiver
Lamb.
one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's CeeDee Lamb. He's probably a top 5 wide receiver. He's tradable. They're stuck with Dak though.
Well, and I think another thing, like if I'm a fan of the Cowboys, one thing that I know for sure is going to happen is that Jerry Jones is not going to let the team blow itself up. Whatever role he has on that team, he's not going to he'll do everything he can to try to make sure that his team stays in contention. So,
But are they ever?
When I
Have they
say
ever been
trade
any
CD, they'll never
consistent?
do that. No, they haven't. But that's the problem, Jalen. Like, is sometimes you have to hit the button and say, "We're done here. We're moving on. Something's not working."
I mean, nothing's worked in like a long time.
Right. And so just be ass, you know? I mean, and be like ass. The Cowboys suffer from Atlanta Hawk syndrome. Never bad enough to get the good guy.
Yeah,
Um,
it's. I mean, I get it, like not wanting to lose, and I do respect it more than just
yeah.
like throwing in the towel. But after so long, it's like it's not even. You just gotta throw away your pride and just say, yeah, we gotta start rebuilding this
Dude, and
franchise.
I say this as a Steeler fan who the only thing that I hold on to is some dumb record that Mike Tomlin has about not having a losing season. So,
Yeah, true. I hate to say it though, like their division is not. I mean, the Commanders are probably the
uh,
best team there, but like I don't.
money
I'm
I
not.
would pay to play in that division.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, the Cowboys are significantly worse than the Eagles and Giants. Like
No.
it's gonna change every week. The Cowboys are gonna have a week where they look awesome. Because
Oh, for
Dak
sure.
always
It's
does that.
it's gotta come. It's probably next week. It's
Yeah.
oh well, they're on a bye, but it's probably um, week 8. They'll be insane. So if they don't fire Mike McCarthy over the bye week, it happened.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, dude, it's too hard to find a Jerry Jones pawn.
Truth.
That's the end of the hate list. I have an honorable mentions. I was gonna put this on the hate list, but I don't think it belongs on the hate list. I actually think it could be a fun segment that happens every now and then. I'm gonna call this segment Basement Island. For those who don't know that are listening to this podcast, although I can't imagine that you're listening to this and don't know me personally, I uh, I live in my parents' basement because I'm a law student who just moved back to Utah. I transferred from Baltimore. And as part of living in my parents' basement, there are things that happen that are insanely frustrating that I just have to deal with. And frustration boiled to a tipping point this weekend. My dad is a passionate Steelers fan. When I say passionate, he reads every article throughout the week published by anybody. He'll show me articles that are almost certainly written by AI just to piss a fan off and be like, "Can you fucking believe this?" And he knows exactly when the Steelers play. And he intentionally plans things to be done around the house around the time when the Steelers kick off so that he can be distracted from it because it stresses him out so much. But he also likes to involve me in these activities for almost no reason. Just because, well, the problem is he hurt his back, and I feel bad for him, but he can't do the heavy lifting. And this week we were going to close up the backyard because the weatherman said it was going to snow 8 days ago, and it's going to snow on Sunday. I'm like, that's so far away, but whatever. That's another thing. That's just old people being obsessed with weather. And so my dad, in the middle of the, right at the very beginning of the Steelers game, goes, "All right, guys," grabs my brother and I. We got to go into the backyard. We got to clean up the backyard. And I was looking at him so confused all morning because the Steelers are in the afternoon slate. He was off on a bike ride with his friends. If you want to go on a bike ride with your buddies, go on a bike ride with your buddies, but don't come home and make me miss the Steeler game because you're too stressed out. And then he comes inside after, so I speed rush the chores. We get them all done for, halfway through the second quarter. We come inside and he's immediately swearing at the television that the Steelers are losing, immediately flipping out, doesn't sit down for the rest of the game, goes off to do so many other chores, and I look like an asshole when I let my dad go out there with a hurt back, do heavy lifting chores. But what people from the outside don't understand is he's just doing this to distract himself from the Steelers. He's not doing this because it needs to get done at that very moment. He's just doing it to block his own stress from the Steelers, and it's so I was so frustrated in the moment, but now it's just so funny because my dad has no impulse control. He's just scared of the Steelers have scared him so much that he's done watching them.
I mean, I
Oh,
I can't even blame him because the Steelers are a tough watch.
it's such a tough watch. He told me today too, we're big Utah fans. He announced today that he won't be going to the Utah BYU game in a month. He said, "I won't do it. I hate those motherfuckers. I can't do it." So he's just not gonna go because it's too
He'll
stressful.
go.
I don't know what the point of being a fan is if you're not gonna watch.
I know there's so many levels of fandom. There's like you have the people who are like, no, I gotta watch the game alone. I can't watch it with you guys. And then you have like your dad where he's like, I can't even watch the game because it stresses me out so much. There's so many different fans out there. There's a whole spectrum of fans.
I mean, I think the last 3 weeks of football have sucked my dad's will of watching any football this season right out. And then the Steelers won. So the Steelers were up, I don't know, 21 with 3 minutes left and they gave up a touchdown. And my dad was like, "God damn it, motherfuckers. They're going to let him back. They're going to let him back in this game, Charlie. That's what they do. They're going to let him fucking back in." I mean, he has post traumatic stress from every other Steeler game being down to the wire. My grandpa calls me after every Steeler game and he called me and he said, "Yeah, well, it was a close one, wasn't it? Oh, God, the freaking Steelers in a close one." I was like, there was nothing close about that game, Grandpa. We won 32 to 13.
Yeah, it wasn't close at all. Like it was close
No,
in the
but
first quarter, but
no, but this is every Steeler fan. Every game is close. We're not
yeah.
allowed to be. So I just
Yeah,
thought
what
I'd add
oh
that little nugget.
yeah, quick question. Is your dad is he ready for Russie?
Oh God, dude.
Are you ready
This is
for Russie?
there's a lot of Russ potential in the air. But here's so I don't want Russie to play ever. I don't want to have to cheer for somebody that cheesy. The real problem with the Russell Wilson news is that, like I mentioned earlier, my dad just reads articles all week and then asks me about them. And it's guaranteed he's gonna say, "Why am I'm seeing all these fucking things? Why do the Steelers want to play fucking Russell Wilson? Why do they want to do it?" Exactly what he's just saying to me all fucking week. I don't know, dude. Fucking, I'm out. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know either. I think they might need to try him out for a game though, because moving the ball downfield is important in the NFL. And some games Justin Fields does it. Some games he doesn't throw a pass longer than 7 yards. So I don't know. I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I tend to subscribe to there's this subsection of fans or people who, and I think this is probably more true of the Steelers situation, and this game's a great example of it. We don't have any offensive weapons really that are explosive outside of George Pickens, and George Pickens is, in my opinion, a wide receiver too. I know that he's extremely talented and he makes all these insane catches. People, his contested catch ability is amazing. But my first question is, why is he always making contested catches?
You don't think Calvin Austin could could be doing more every week?
Oh, as praised as Calvin Austin was coming out of college, and as all of us know the skill he has and the ability he has, I'm gonna go ahead and say it would be nice to have an actual wide receiver one on this team.
Yeah, I don't know. The Russ thing is interesting because I watched him on the Broncos last year, and some games he would just make Cortland Sutton look way better than he actually is.
Right.
And I don't know if
Well,
he could maybe do that with George Pickens. I don't know. They're a little bit different type of player. I think Sutton's more of like your like a very poor man's like Nico Collins type build. I think he's tall like that, but
yeah,
I
possession
don't know,
guy.
man. I just want to see more passing out of the Steelers because I
Anything?
think they're well, I just think their running backs are pretty solid, and if they just like if every defense wasn't just like jamming the line every
8 in the
single
box,
time,
9 in
you
the box.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Najee Harris is
Yeah.
a pretty good back. His stats are horrible, but it's because there's no space on the field ever.
I mean, we've got 2 tight ends on every play. Every play we run 2 tight end set.
Yeah.
I think it's called 11 personnel or whatever, but it's just so hard to be a Steelers fan right now. Because what do you think the asking price is for Devonte Adams?
A lot.
Yeah, fuck.
I think they said it's a second round pick, right?
That's fine. I would do that.
Well,
Would
it's
do that
fine with you.
today.
It's fine with the entire country, but it has to be fine with Mike Tomlin, and it's probably not.
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin's like stubborn. He's like, I'm just never gonna win with a quarterback or a receiver from now
it's
on
so
after
weird.
Big Ben and Antonio Brown left.
I like I don't blame he must have some post traumatic stress from Antonio Brown. Like I wonder how many colonoscopies he had in the couple of years that we had Antonio Brown. Like 2 a year? You
Dude,
know?
that
He
Steelers
must
team
have
was
just been
so fun.
oh, they were so fun, but and you know what? It is truly incredible. I maintain the stance that Mike Tomlin deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Never heard anything come out of the Steelers locker room for I don't know 10 years that he was dealing with that, and the second AB leaves, like all of these crazy allegations, he starts I think coming on Masseuse's back while watching Bible videos. Gets his feet in that weird thing and never plays a single snap for the Raiders. I mean, it went so south so fast the second he left Pittsburgh. Whatever Tomlin did is unbelievable, but I'm sure it gave him. He's got a brain tumor.
Yeah, I mean there's not many in the NFL, but there are a few coaches that kind of demand respect, and I think Mike Tomlin's definitely one of them, and I do believe he got the best out of, you know, all those
Yeah.
all those players, including like, not that they had anything crazy happen, but like, James Harrison, Ryan Clark was
Yep.
crazy. Even Le'Veon Bell, like they had a lot of guys that kind of teeter on that edge of like crazy,
Oh,
and he
Le'Veon
kept all
Bell.
of it. Like,
Le'Veon Bell was an idiot.
so good.
Like, so good, but so dumb. So dumb. He always says his biggest regret was leaving Pittsburgh. It's like, yeah, well, no, sure, dude.
Yeah, but Tomlin's definitely in like a very niche
He's in a class
category.
of his
Like
own. Yeah.
it's got to be like him, Dan Campbell, Vrabel, kind
Green.
of that type of coach.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Just where like, he'll protect you if you know,
You're his guy.
follow the
Yeah, but
rules. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
that's life as a Steeler fan. I'm just gonna live with it. Go for it. Um,
What's so different about this year though? Like you're on track to go 9-8.
no, there's nothing. What's different about this year is nothing is different. I did what I do every year. I convinced myself that the Steelers have finally put together the offense that will complement their defense well, and we're at about that point in the year where I'm starting to realize that oh yeah, nothing's different. We're gonna play the Jets, and we'll get to that game, and we're favored at home, which means almost certainly we're gonna lose, um, which is awesome. On Sunday Night Football, that'll be great. All right, since we already threw out a little teaser there, but let's jump into this week. There's
Oh
two
yeah, let's
things that
do.
I'm gonna ask. One is for you to read off, and actually, let's start with this. You want to tell the folks your amazing accomplishment?
Okay, so I was gonna lead into our points total and then say it with it. So
Okay.
Charlie and I went absolutely bonkers this week with our
Let's
picks.
go.
Um, I had 25 points. Charlie had 21. I didn't miss a single money line for the whole week. I hit a
Let's
parlay this
go.
week that was plus 12,000
Let's
and
go.
a dollar down to win 122. So it's never gonna happen again. But
No,
It was
but when
fun.
that happens, it's an accomplishment. It's worth talking about. I'm extremely impressed, dude. Congratulations. You're finally one
Thank
of
you.
those dudes. You're finally one of
Yeah.
those dudes.
Yeah, it's screenshotted. It will never be forgotten. I also
That
had
goes
I
down
should
in
share
history.
that I should share that Alan Lazard caught a Hail Mary before halftime to win me $65 too. So that was
My
pretty
man's on
cool.
a heater. And you said it
No,
last
we're
week, I think.
not.
You said on last week's pod though that this week's going to be the better week. So we're here. We're in the
Yeah, what
better
did I
week.
have last? I had like 11 points last week or something.
It was a tough
Fif-
week for you last week. Yeah.
No,
10
it was
points.
2 weeks ago. I had 10 points.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're on the come up, dude.
Yeah,
Way to
so you
go.
and I are we're now tied through for 5 weeks.
Yeah, to
We've
the
been
fans
keeping
out
track
there.
of this. So,
We're tied at 74 points, which is awesome. And
yeah.
it's going to be a fun week. We have two bye weeks this week, Jalen. Chicago and Dallas. Dallas wins the bye to me. They need it more.
Yeah. I mean, they need a lot. I don't think a bye
Yeah.
week hurts. I don't know if it's a week 8 will let us know if it's a win or not.
Will Caleb Williams find a way to improve over the bye week like he seemed to improve every other week?
So, I have a thing with the Bears and like I'm happy that Caleb Williams is playing good. But the Bears are not beating good teams. I think it might be getting blown out of proportion a little bit.
Hmm.
The record of the teams that they've beaten is 4-14. They have the
Great
31st strength
stat.
of schedule in the NFL.
Yep.
So, like I said, I'm happy Caleb Williams is doing good. I love watching the rookie quarterbacks do great, but I'm not really sold on that like the Bears are this like contender in the NFC North.
It's fair. And I don't think that they are. I know that there's a bunch of people out there saying things like that conference is going to or that division's going to produce for playoff teams. No, once the Bears start playing Chicago and Detroit and Minnesota every week, it's going to the tune of that team's going to change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And congrats to them for being 4-2, and the Bears are fun, and they're gonna be more fun. I mean, there's gonna be more fun games to be had, but they do play the Pats, they play the Cards. Those are two wins. So they're looking like they could be 6-3 headed into the true division play of the season. But from there out, there might be one or two more wins on the schedule. They do have to play the Niners. This is a really brutal stretch for them. So it goes Bears, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks,
Oh,
Packers.
oh yeah.
That's
Oh, that's so
sorry.
bad.
That's
That's so
so
bad.
bad. There's maybe a
Holy.
win in there, you know?
Yeah.
So just for the
Or
people
not.
out there, or not, or just not at all. So just for the people out there, let's relax. They might be a 6-win team and not win a game after week 10. Um, so just something to put in your pocket. All right, let's kick it off with
This is a fun one, man.
just an electric avenue game for a Thursday night. Broncos at the Saints. Broncos are 1.5 point favorites. The over under at a week's low, it looks like 36.5,
This is the only game in the 30s.
which we'll get to it when we make our picks. This is two teams that I barely want to watch ever. Broncos are insanely inconsistent. Two rookie quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix. Rattler looked scared, and I mean, he didn't look awful, but it wasn't great. And the
Didn't he
Saints
have
gave
like
up 51 points.
he had like five
Um,
turnovers or something?
yeah, no, he looked, yeah, but there were points in the game where I thought maybe he could be okay. But no, he was terrible. I mean, he looked scared. He looked like that game was too big for him. He was not ready to play in an NFL game. And as a result of it, his team gave up 51 points. He threw two picks. I think he fumbled a handful of times. I mean, it was tough. Rattler fumbled once, but it wasn't lost, and he threw two picks. So he had two turnovers. The team together fumbled three times, lost
Oh,
it
that's what
once.
it
It was the
was.
Olave fumble. So it was a three turnover game for the Bucks. It was for the Saints against a Bucks defense that wasn't very good. And I'm blown away by this over under being set so low. I don't know about you. When I look at this, I see 36 and a half, and the Broncos defense is so much better than the Bucks defense. There's no way that there's not at least one defensive score in this game. So for me, I'm going to take the Broncos and I'm going to take the over. And I'm going to take the cover. I'm going to go 3 for 3 on Thursday.
Okay, I don't know if so. Pat Surtain got hurt in the
Yeah, that's right.
within the first 5 plays of the last game. I don't know what his status is. I assume this line means he's playing, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I don't know.
The Broncos could win 10-9, or they could lose 27-6. So I don't feel great about an over under on this. I'm just gonna take the Broncos -1.5.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I'm
It's
banking
like,
on a defensive score.
yeah, Bo Nix, like he looked so bad to start the game, and he like put them in a hole immediately. But towards the end of the game, like I don't know, he's sometimes he looks good, and sometimes he just so bad.
Might
But
be a
you know,
he
it's
might be a
a
garbage time
rookie thing.
merchant. I
It
don't
could
know
be, but
yet.
they were only down like 23-7. Like I don't know if that's
Yeah,
complete garbage time.
yeah. He's just good in the fourth quarter, maybe. He's is he Kenny Pickett? That was the Kenny Pickett thing. He'd have like 25 yards going into the fourth quarter, and then throw for 100 in the fourth quarter. And people go, well, he threw for 125. 100 came in the fourth. If he could just do that the whole game,
I don't
yeah,
know.
weird
I think
game.
Chris Olave is also out for this game.
Yes, he is. He got another concussion, so I don't think he'll be playing. I think that's his
Yeah,
fifth
it's
concussion. Something.
it's scary to take overs with the Broncos, but I respect it.
Yeah, I'm going for it. 36 seems so low in a game where the Saints just gave up 51 points. I mean,
Well,
and the Broncos
the-
themselves gave up 23. So if you even take half of the 51,
yeah, I mean it depends if Bo Nick's gonna turn the ball over or not, because
yeah, that's true.
that first score was just him throwing a pick and then them running it down to like the 10, and then
Fun
they were
prop
just
in
in a
this game would
hole.
just be the
But
over interceptions. Probably
oh
like
yeah,
3.5.
dude, it's probably like -110, -120 for Bo Nix to throw an interception and Spencer Rattler to throw one.
To parlay those, you're still getting it minus. Probably true. All right, next game is a game that I don't know if I'm going to wake up early enough to watch. It comes on at 7:30. I'll probably watch it because Drake May is at least mildly interesting, but
Yeah.
Patriots Jaguars. Jags continue to be okay. Jaguars are favored by 5.5 miraculously. The over under is 42.5. Jags continue to be one of the most unwatchable teams in football. Uh, I don't. Trevor Lawrence doesn't know that he has Brian Thomas on his team. Um, they their offense looks anemic. Even when they're scoring, it looks weird. And they're playing the Patriots, who are starting Drake May, who threw three touchdowns, and he's the first quarterback in NFL history to throw three touchdowns and lead his team in rushing for their first start. But I don't really
Against the
know what that
Texans
means.
too.
Yeah, against the Texans, which is pretty impressive. I mean, he didn't look bad, and I can't fathom this line. I don't know what to do. What are your thoughts? Where are you going with this? It is in London, which is important to note, and the Jacksonville has stayed there an extra week, so rest might be a little bit on their side. But what are your thoughts?
I don't want anything to do with this game. This is a do not
Same.
bet.
Yeah.
Um, but I would be. I would be a fraud if I didn't pick against Trevor Lawrence, so I'm gonna pick against him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. Uh, part of me just wants the Jags to lose this game so badly as sort of the icing on the cake of what we've been talking about all season.
Yeah, I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is gonna be able to get the ball to Brian Thomas in this game either, because Christian Gonzalez is probably gonna be on him.
Yeah,
Um, I know they have Bigsby, who's been turned out to be great this season, but Travis Etienne, I think he's out for this game. So
yeah,
they lost a little depth. I know they've been over there for a week, but I don't know, dude. This team is weird. I kind of wonder if the players are starting to get sick of the situation too, and they're not playing as hard for Doug Peterson now.
hmm Well, I
There's
also
hasn't
think,
been any reports of that, but I don't know. It happens in sports all the time. You start losing games, and who do you look at the head coach of your team who kind of leads you. You usually look at him first, and then well, either him or the quarterback.
and my feeling on it is Doug Peterson doesn't have a job this week if they're not in England, and
Oh yeah,
this is the rollover, you know, dead on the side of the road game where Doug Peterson knows probably even if they win the next loss that he's going to be fired. If they're on American soil, he's probably fired. Uh, and he's definitely not throwing. This is not going to be a kitchen sink situation. This is going to be a, oh man, the Patriots went up 7 in the first quarter and we were never able to come back from it. And that's really what I think. I mean, I think if the Patriots score a touchdown before the Jaguars and take a lead, I don't know if the Jags have the ability to recover, especially if it comes after like a Lawrence pick or a failed drive at around the 40. It's such bad vibes in Jacksonville right now. I don't and are there really any better vibes than, no, we suck, but at least our rookie quarterback's kind of fun. I mean, the Patriots are just playing to play football.
yeah, and
Nothing to lose.
there's no pressure on Drake May either.
Right. Right.
Like
Be the
I know
worst
they
team.
brought him in a little bit earlier than people wanted, mostly Pats fans, but I think they did a good job with how they went about this. Because like if you're gonna throw your rookie quarterback in, just make sure there's not like crazy expectations on him or anything. And I think most people are gonna be well, they're gonna fairly criticize him. Where I think Caleb Williams for sure got unfairly criticized in his first few games, but I don't know. There's a lot of history of the Patriots just handling these things better than other organizations too. Um, but yeah, you know, I like the Pats.
I
I'll
do
take
too.
them.
I watched that Houston game. I try to watch Houston whenever I can. I think they're really fun. And
Same.
not that I ever thought that the game was in doubt, but I also thought the Pats don't look awful. I don't. Nothing about this game says to me that they're terrible. I know that they lost by 20 points, but eh, Drake May was kind of exciting. I don't know. It was
Yeah, and
interesting.
like the Texans are like Super Bowl contenders, so I mean, you
Right.
can't even compare the two teams. Even without Nico Collins, they still have tons of weapons.
Stephon
Joe
Diggs.
Mixon came back and just dominated.
Right. And they still have Steph Diggs and Tank Dell and Dalton
Yeah.
Schultz. I mean, that's a good team. Yeah. A good team minus Nico Collins. So, yeah, I think we're both in agreement here. And we would be frauds to take the Jags. Um, Next game. This is, oh God, this game is so funny to me. I was trying to come up with a title for this game.
Bird fight.
Yeah, it's the bird fight, but this is, neither of these teams are bad. Neither of these teams are particularly good. Neither of these teams are particularly interesting. Both of their quarterbacks are kind of the same person. Um, it's not the best game. It's not the worst game. It's not the most entertaining game. It's Seahawks at Falcons. It's the first game sort of on the 11 o'clock slate. Falcons are favored by 2.5. The over under is 49.5. There's got to be a good comparison for just how equally mid these two teams exist in my brain. And, I can't find it. I was trying to find an anime crossover of like an anime battle where it's like, oh well, it's not that I hate watching this fight, it's just not that sick. But I couldn't find it. So
So
I'm
I
sure
have to
it'll
say
come my.
I know shocker, but I actually disagree with you. I like the Falcons.
All right. Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
you're a Kirk
probably
guy.
it's yeah, Big Kirko wakes up dripping. No, they finally gave the ball to Bijan. I know they played the Panthers, but he scored
Yeah.
twice. Like I've been really impressed with Drake London this year. I think he's creeping up in the wide receiver rankings now.
I will say
Like,
that I'm pleasantly surprised by Drake London. I was so out on
yeah.
him coming into the year.
Well, I mean Desmond Ritter versus even 40-year-old Kirk Cousins. It's like it's night and day.
Yeah.
I think they're getting better. I haven't been totally impressed with the Seahawks. It's hard to imagine them losing three straight. They are coming off the
Yeah.
Thursday night game with extra rest, but
But
I
they've lost three straight.
oh, have they lost three straight?
Lions, Giants, Niners, and the
Oh
Giants game
yeah,
was so bad. So four straight seems crazy to me.
yeah. But also the Falcons they're kind of rolling right now, and I don't think the Seahawks defense is particularly good. So I definitely think Bijan can run against them.
Hmm.
And I definitely think Kirk can pass against them. And I know the Falcons aren't the Lions, but the Lions absolutely shredded this team.
Yeah, yeah. No, here's the thing about Atlanta. I can't tell if Atlanta is going to be that division team that has a very good record and then in the first round plays a wild card team from a division that's much better and just gets killed. I can't tell if the Seahawks are actually bad or not. It's so hard when you look at their schedule. They win games they're supposed to win and they're losing games that they're supposed to lose. And then there's this Giants thing in there where the Giants beat them 29-20 coming off of that insane Monday night game, which the final score was 42-29, but that game was really much closer than that. It went back and forth for a long time. I I I don't know. This game is really tough. It weighs in the balance of intensity. I think that the game means a lot more to Seattle. And for that reason, I think I'm going to be taking Seattle to win and cover.
Okay. I lean towards the Falcon. If it was in Seattle, I might
Yeah, the
be
road
willing to
thing
take them.
sucks.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I love Young Ho kicking in the dome.
Yeah,
And
that's a great call.
2.5 is a sweet spot for him.
Here's the thing too, if the Falcons win this game, it won't change my mind about where they sort of exist in the like mid, I don't really enjoy watching it sort of thing, but it will go a long ways to me thinking they'll probably win that division.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, and I took the Bucks at the beginning of the year, but I mean they've ripped off three straight.
Yeah, they're starting to click.
And all division wins too. Saints,
Yep.
Bucks, Panthers. Winning three straight divisions games is no joke, which is another reason why I think maybe this could be a rollover game for them. Is just division games are harder usually. They're just close, hard fought games. They mean more, and coming out of that little gauntlet might be tough for them. So
Yeah, they do have the extra rest from the Bucks game was on a Thursday. Then they
yeah,
rested for a week and a half, played the Panthers. They also showed I know it's a small sample, but in the 2 weeks they showed that they can win. in both ways. They can have Kirk throw for 500, or they can have Bijan run it. So two really bad defenses. I'm kind of gassing them
Yeah.
too much, but yeah, I don't know.
No, they are.
I'll roll
Yeah.
offense.
Right on. The next game is the Bills game. I don't have a line on this. Do you have a line on it?
Yeah, so if you refresh, you'll see it. It's
Okay. Did they
Bills
just
at
drop it?
home by 8.5.
Oh yeah, they did. They just dropped it. Okay. Bills at home by 8.5. Bills coming off of a pretty fun Monday night game. We talked about it at the top of the show. Josh Allen. That was a much needed Bills win. I feel like that was a monkey off the back game for them. Over under set at 42.5. Titans coming off of a bye week. Kind of forgot about them. Forgot that they were in the NFL for a week. It was very nice. Or are they even coming off a bye week? Did they play last week? They probably did. I
Yeah,
think they
they
played the
played.
Colts. Yeah, they played the
Yep.
Colts. And they lost to the Colts. It shows you how much I watched that game. I can't stand watching Tennessee, period. Um, I think it's so brutal. It's such a tough watch. The Levis thing is tough.
Calvin Ridley's mad too.
Ridley's mad. Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I did watch part of this game because Ridley just got thrown the ball a million times, but none of the balls were catchable, and it all came very late in the game.
I think he had eight targets, no catches.
Yeah, which is crazy, and I think most of the targets came late in the game. And I'm sorry. I want to feel bad for Calvin Ridley, but I don't because he chose to be in Tennessee with Will Levis. He had other options. He had so many
Yeah.
other options. He can get on TV and complain all he wants. He's the one who decided to go to Tennessee. Nobody made him go there. He wasn't traded or drafted there. But a team with DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley,
Tony
in the
Pollard.
wide receiver room, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, who I actually think is pretty good, should just be better than this. And they
Their
fired Mike
defense was
Vrabel.
pretty good too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they
their
hold
defense isn't
teams to
bad.
like 20 points.
But they decided to fire Mike Vrabel for, again, reasons that are unclear to me. So,
Too big.
oh yeah, too big in the meeting room.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't watch Tennessee. It's so bad. Although Flacco, something about Flacco. Um,
No, Flacco's on the Colts,
He's on the
man. What?
Colts, I know, but that's who they played this week. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so that was probably the only reason I caught any glimpses of that game was to see Flacco play. I will watch this game because I watch every game Josh Allen plays in if I can, and I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to take them to cover. The Titans drive me crazy. They suck. It's in Buffalo too.
Yeah, the Bills usually like really turn it up against bad teams. They did it for the
Yeah,
first three games of the year. I think they're just gonna come out and yeah, just dominate them. I don't think the Titans can um put up enough points to make this a game. I think
no, I
Josh
don't think
Allen's
so.
just too good. James Cook should probably be back for this game too.
Hmm. Yep,
So yeah, I'm rolling Bills. Bills
right
eight and
on.
a half. Crazy line, but crazier to take the Titans.
I agree. Next game, Bengals Browns. Bengals 4.5 point favorites, over under set at 43.5. It's in Cleveland. The Browns look miserable as miserable gets this week. We've hammered this home. I think every person who watches football's hammered this home. The Browns are a pathetic excuse for a football team. And if Jameis Winston gets the nod, great, but I don't see it happening. I'm going to take the Bengals -4.5.
Wow, so we're not going to talk about Deshaun Watson for 20 minutes?
No, I'm done. I can't do it. I hate him.
All
Not
right,
worth my
I'm going to
breath
roll with the
anymore.
Bengals too.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me about this game is Nick Chubb is supposed to be back,
Yeah.
and if I've seen anything about the Bengals, it's that they can't stop anyone not named Daniel Jones. So, uh,
Good point.
there's a chance the Browns cover, but I'm just gonna take the Bengals. I'm not gonna pick. I'm never gonna pick the Browns unless they're. Well, I actually don't know when I would pick the Browns. Maybe
Yeah,
against the
playing the
Dolphins.
Jaguars.
Maybe.
I don't know
I
if I
still might
hate.
take Deshaun Watson
I
just
still
because.
I take it. Yeah. That's really the clash of like our two most hated things, dude. That would be like that week we might have to throw a party. The hate party
Yeah.
for the hate list. Do they play this year? Oh, I hope they play this year.
They should have stuck the Browns in London this week.
Oh, that would have been so funny. No, you can't. No, Deshaun can't travel over international waters, dude.
He's way too dangerous.
He's way too dangerous, dude. He may never come back. He'll just stay there to avoid any future criminal charges that may be pending.
Well,
Um,
it's not Four's fault, okay?
it's not whose.
It's not Four's fault.
Oh
You know
no, it's not
that
Forrest's fault.
that Twitter account? It's
I don't know
it's
about that
people
Twitter
think it's
account.
Deshaun Watson's burner. And he always just
Yeah,
calls him Four.
here's the thing, dude. I'd like to imagine that Deshaun Watson has a burner, but he's clearly not a discreet actor. You know, not exactly good
No.
at getting away with things.
Well, he also doesn't pay attention to any of the media. He said that, so
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Never.
yeah, yeah.
He doesn't even know what Twitter is or X.
No,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
He probably still thinks it's Twitter.
that dude. He's just got a great relationship with God. Terrible. Next game though, game of the week, in my opinion. I love this
No,
game.
not even close, Charlie. It's a great game, but this slate is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, there's another really good game just down the road.
There's two. There's
There's
two.
two. There's two.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chiefs, Niners, holy shit. Yeah, okay.
It's a top three game though.
This is a top three game. This is a top three game. This is an awesome game. I saw an awesome quote about this game. Wow, I forgot Chiefs Niners was this week. Texans at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 2.5. Over under set at 47.5. Favorite thing about this game so far, it's already starting. The chatter's already starting. D'Amico Ryan says that Jordan Love's the best quarterback they'll have faced this season. That's a shot at Josh Allen. I don't care how you look at it. That's a shot at Josh Allen. This game's going to be awesome. Jordan Love looked awesome this week. I watched a lot of that game.
Yeah.
He dismantled the Cardinals. On the other side, CJ Stroud looks like maybe the MVP this season. This may be two of the best offenses in the NFL playing each other. They're also two pretty good defenses, too. And I
Yeah.
think that a lot of people are sleeping on both of these defenses who have played really well through the first couple of weeks of the season. I'm so excited to watch this game. It'll be one of the games on the quad box for sure. Maybe be one of the games that gets its own TV. Man, I'm so excited about this. What are your thoughts?
If the Texans had Nico Collins, I would pick the Texans, but they don't.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're also not at home. Green Bay's a pretty tough place to play unless your name's Sam Darnold and you just go in there and dominate. But
Dominate.
CJ Stroud isn't Sam Darnold, so I like the Packers. They're rolling right now. Their receivers are just they're so good, man.
They're so good, aren't they?
Jaden Reed has been so good this year, and Dobbs just comes back after getting suspended, catches 2 touchdowns casually. Watson caught a touchdown. They're so deadly. They can just like any of those receivers can go off every week.
Yeah. These teams are so similar. They're
Yeah,
so similar. Running backs, new running backs this year that are coming from old teams where they were dominant that can play all aspects of the game. A wide receiver room, deeper than the diving board end of the swimming pool for both teams. Good tight ends for both teams. Great young quarterbacks, both in their second season as starters. This is such a fun game. I love both these quarterbacks. I mean, I love Love because I went to school with him. I've liked Stroud for a really long time. Um, I'm going to take the Packers -2 just because they're at home, and I'm going to take the over just because I hope that the over hits because
yeah, me too.
I
I
want it to
I
be
did the
fun.
same thing.
Yeah,
I think it will be, dude. I think it's going to be a shootout, which probably means it'll end 23-17.
right.
Um,
But we
I'm
can
going to be
reserve hope.
cheering. I'm going to be cheering very hard for the Texans because I like them. But yeah, I'll take the Packers at home.
I'm literally just cheering for football in this game. I like the Texans. I have Steph Diggs on my fantasy team. I love the Packers because I love Jordan Love, and again I went to college with him. So yeah, can't wait, can't wait.
Yeah,
Next game, just
Harriet.
an absolute shit fest in the middle of these two awesome games. This is so bad. Dolphins Colts. Colts 3.5 point favorites. The something about Flacco Colts. 43.5 is the over under. Theme of this game is I don't know who's quarterback, so I don't know what to do.
Sure.
I'll take I'll take the Colts for now at 3.5. And you want to make a deal that if quarterback situations change, we can reassess and text each other about it.
I think I'll take the Colts either way,
Okay. Yeah.
but because
I mean, I don't know if
I don't
Tua is
think Tua
playing.
is. I don't think he is,
Okay.
but
I mean, three and a
uh,
half seems so low if Tua's not playing.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, I would just if Tua's not going to play, I thought this would be at least 7.
I mean, the Colts only beat the Jags by 3. They're not like a powerhouse, or the Titans by
And
3.
the Titans by 3. They lost to the Jags. Yeah, that's true. And it's just Flacco, baby. Think
Yeah,
Flacco's going to
maybe.
lose to Ty Huntley?
Probably not.
No. Yeah, I'll take the Colts, but it's a weird game. I don't know. Big question marks all around that. Too hard
It's a
to
weird
analyze.
game that will not even touch my TV.
No, not with this slate. No chance. No chance. God, this is a fun slate, dude. Because this next game, you want to go ahead and intro this next game?
Yes, we got the Lions at the Vikings. Vikings are favored by 2.5.
Yes.
I don't know what way to go on this because the the Vikings also play on Thursday. So I don't know if they're going to bring back Aaron Jones for this game, and I don't know if they're going to
Mm,
bring back TJ Hawkinson for this game.
okay. Is this
If there's
your
no
yeah?
if there's no Aaron Jones, I like the Lions. But if Aaron Jones plays, I like the Vikings.
So this is the Vikings' chance at the Lions, I think, this season. You've got them at home. You're coming off a bye week. You're red hot. Your defense has been unbelievable. You've had 2 weeks to prepare to play this Lions offense, which finally seems to be clicking. Like they had a slow start to the season, but they finally seem to be clicking. I think Aaron Jones is going to play because of that. I think you have to play Aaron Jones when you've got this is the team in your way. You win this game, you're in really good pole position to win the division. You win the division, you get the bye. I mean, the Vikings are you win this, you're the favorites to win the NFC. So I know that it's only week 7, but this is the biggest game of the year for that division, right? As it stands. So
So where do you stand on how much of an impact Aiden Hutchinson being out for the season is going to be? Because I think
I
it's
think it's
massive.
huge. I think it's huge. And I mean, not only that, the nature of the injury, how gruesome it was, those things have an impact. I was actually laughing today. I shouldn't laugh, but I was laughing today. I remember after the DeMar Hamlin thing, a couple weeks later, the Bills lost in the playoffs to the Bengals, and everybody was, "Are the Bills gonna fall apart?" And I was like, "Hey, do you remember a guy died on the field like 3 weeks ago? Are we all just forgetting that whole thing where the guy died and now we're like calling for the coach's head? Losing a guy to horrific injury in the middle of a game and the reality of that setting in now is a big deal. I mean, that was a
But
horrific injury.
it's a giant hole to fill too. This is like the Steelers losing TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
This is
Yep.
one of the biggest injuries that could have happened for a defense in the NFL.
I agree. And the Lions defense isn't good. I mean, it's not
No,
bad,
he
but
was the defense.
he was their defense. Without the pressure that they were getting from him on the edge, I don't know if they have the ability to force teams into the situations they were forcing them into. He's a vocal leader, he's an emotional leader, he's an example leader. He is that defense. And to lose him, especially the way that they did. I mean, that injury is so brutal.
Yeah,
Um, it's an impact. It's a huge impact, and it shouldn't be overlooked. It's a really good point by you. And I like the Vikings. I do. And I don't know about the over under. I don't know what to think. Part of me thinks that Vikings defense is going to be good no matter what. But at the
oh, they're
same
ready to
time,
go.
yeah, they're ready to go. At the same time, I still think you need to score 25 points in this game to win it, right?
Yeah, probably.
Probably got to score somewhere between 25 to 28 points in this game. For that reason, I'm going to take the over. But I like the Vikings across the board.
I also like the Vikings because I'm with you that Aaron Jones is probably going to play. I
Yeah.
do have a fun stat about the NFC North though.
Hit me.
So combined records of teams beaten for the Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears. I already said the Bears 4-14 of the teams they've beaten. Packers 7-11, Lions 9-11, Vikings 16-8. They
Jesus.
also have, I don't know how this happened, but the Lions have the 29th strength of schedule. The Packers have the 22nd. The Bears have the 31st, and the Vikings have the 5th. I don't know what they did to deserve the fifth hardest schedule because they did not win that many games last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few stats that I'm kind of holding on to that the Vikings have beat a lot of really good teams, and the rest of the division outside of the Lions have beat pretty good teams too. But the Packers and Bears are just beating bad teams right now.
Yeah. I mean, another thing too. Okay, so once you get beyond this game is this giant wall, I feel like, for you guys. And
Oh,
if you
this
get
is
beyond
everything,
it,
dude.
yeah.
If we win this, ESPN is finally gonna, and like all these stupid media sources, they're finally gonna be like the Vikings are good.
But
And
looking
if
at your
we
schedule,
lose, then
if
it's
you
gonna
if you win
be
this,
same
I
old
don't
Vikings.
see the next loss for a long time.
Uh, I mean,
Rams, Colts, Jags, Titans, Bears, Cardinals, Falcons, maybe? Bears again, Seahawks, then you have the Packers, Lions. I mean, you if you win this game, the road ahead gets so much cleaner for you.
yeah, it does. I don't know that the front half of the schedule has been ridiculous.
But you got that nice bye week right after it.
Yeah.
I mean, the bye week coming into this game is huge, especially for Aaron Jones's health.
Uh-huh.
So
And Sam
I'm
Darnold.
cheering for you. I'm cheering for you. And Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, me too. It's gonna be a fun game. I'm probably gonna buy a new TV this week, just for it. So
hell yes, dude. That fires me up so, so much.
yeah,
Oh my God, that just fired me up. Buy a new TV,
yeah.
dude.
You can come check it out. We can watch Broncos Saints on it on Thursday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah. Give me the Vikings, man.
Right on. Jones was on the practice field this week, by the way. He was on the practice field Monday. Always a good sign.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
So,
take it.
all right. Dude, what a game. God, that's a great game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome to transition from something that exciting to something this depressing. Eagles Giants. Eagles are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5. That's an over-under I won't even sniff. Oh, did you take the over-under in the last game, or are you going to stick off of it?
I'll take the over with you. Why
Right on.
not?
Here's my take for the Eagles Giants game. Must win game for the Eagles. If they lose this, Sirianni's probably out. He's a total embarrassment. I think he's lost the locker room. He acts like a child on the sidelines, and I don't like him. And the Giants are fun and scrappy, and I love Dayball, and I want them to win this game. Just because I like
Yeah.
Dayball, and I like how hard he makes that team play.
Is Malik Neighbors gonna be back for this game?
I hope so.
Usually it's
Wasn't
like
really
2 weeks for
clear.
concussions.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of him not playing is just abundance of caution. You've got a really good rookie receiver, and You're probably not going to win many games anyway. But I think the Giants' defense is just good.
Yeah,
They've had a couple of games where they've given up big number. Like they gave up, well, only really one. The only game they gave up more than 21 points was to you guys in week one. Other than that, they've been just good. And, you know, 21, 15, 20, 20, 17. I mean, those are great numbers. And the Eagles' offense looks so uninspiring, even against the Browns, who seem to have quit. I kind of like the Giants in this spot. They're at home. I don't see why the Eagles are getting any points. I like the Giants to cover and win.
I I don't know what to do with this game
Yeah.
because it feels like AJ Brown being back is gonna help a lot. He had a pretty big game last week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're just not using Saquon the last like 2 weeks. I don't know why.
So weird. So weird.
It's like the Ravens not using Derrick Henry. It wouldn't make any sense. But I think I'm gonna take the Eagles
Okay.
-3. I hate -3 though, because that's right on the
Yeah.
field goal line. Um,
Yep.
and I actually like the under in this
Okay. All right.
because the Giants just held Joe Burrow to 10 points. So
Not bad. Yeah, I thought about the under. I just taken enough risks out there on the over unders this week. Stick away from that one.
sure.
Plus, I got another over in me. There's one cooking. Don't worry. God, I don't want to watch this game. This game probably won't be on my. Well, it's the afternoon slate, so it'll be on TV to be on a TV. Raiders Rams. Rams favored by 5.5. I think Cooper Cup comes back this week, which is fun. I'm excited about that. I love Matt Stafford. This Raiders team, I just watched them play this week. It's a disaster. Uh, I actually feel kind of bad for Raiders fans. That quarterback situation is so bad, and the coaching situation doesn't seem very good. And there's nothing about that team outside of Max Crosby that I care about even watching, really. Going into LA, I think that not Jared, I almost said Jared Goff. Matthew Stafford is ready to win. They're coming off a bye week, probably one of the most needed bye weeks of the season so far. That team is bruised and battered. Sean McVay on extra time seems like an easy pick to me. Seems like Rams and to cover.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I don't even know who's going to play quarterback for the Raiders. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they're just they're bad.
They're bad and
I
they're
don't know
not
why
fun.
Minshew isn't playing though.
It's funny to me. I mean, Minshew plays the first couple of weeks. Then they're like, well, let's try the other guy. Try the other guy. It's just as bad. So what? They'll go back to Minshew and it'll be bad there too.
Well, I mean, looking back on this season so far, the Raiders beating the Ravens is just the most bizarre thing to happen
It's
still.
remarkable.
I have
It's
no idea
remarkable.
how this team came back down 2 touchdowns in the fourth.
It's crazy.
It's so weird, man.
It's crazy.
But yeah,
Uh,
this probably won't be, what is this, a 405?
yeah.
Um, I don't know. Is this gonna get the TV? Probably not. I'd probably rather just turn on Jaden Daniels for 20 minutes before the prime game starts. So,
Yeah. Fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
bury
I
this one.
mean, I'll probably run the two TVs with Panthers Commanders on one and Chiefs Niners on the other. But uh, yeah, next game we've already alluded to it, but Panthers Commanders. Commanders favored by 7.5. Over unders 52.5. Commanders coming off of a weird loss to the Ravens. I don't think it was their worst game by any means. I thought that the fact that they hung in there was awesome, even though it felt like once Derrick Henry started scoring that the game was out of reach. You kind of just had a feeling that at the end of the day the Ravens are going to be able to run the football, and which by the way is a universal feeling when you watch the Ravens. This isn't something unique to the Commanders, but Jaden Daniels put up another awesome performance. And Panthers, again, it's the Andy Dalton high is crashing very quickly, and they were scrappy against the Falcons, but Commanders I think are better than the Falcons. I'll take the 7.5, and I'll take the over for the Commanders. Commanders play over games. That's just a fact.
Yeah, by a half a point this last week, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Let's go against a tough
Barely,
Ravens defense.
barely covered it. It's 52
Oh,
and a
that's
half, and
hilarious.
that last field goal um covered it. So I I don't know, man. I kind of respect the Panthers offense a little bit. Um,
All the more
but
reason to take the over.
oh, I'm definitely taking the over. I just
Okay.
wonder, yeah.
The 7.5 scares me. The half on that 7 scares me a lot. But
7.5, it's just it's such an annoying line. It's like the flat three
right.
where you're just like, win by a touchdown. I don't know. I'm just gonna do what you're doing though. I'm gonna take the Commanders to cover, and I'm definitely gonna take the over in this game.
Right on. Nice.
Jaden Daniels, ridiculous stat, real quick. He is 9 for 9 on fourth downs in his pro career right
Yeah.
now.
Jaden Daniels feels like the guy that we're gonna get a new ridiculous stat for every week. Like it started with the he's completed 80% of his passes, and now it's the fourth quarter thing. And then next week it'll be like, first rookie quarterback to have multiple 4 touchdown, games, and we're only in week 7. So he's insane.
Yeah,
He's so much
I
fun.
I gotta mention one of my favorite wide receiver QB duos is Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. It's
Dude, I
been a
love
lot
it.
of fun to watch this year.
I have Terry in a lot of my fantasy leagues, and I took a risk on him in my fantasy league. When I found out that they had traded that Jahan Dotson, that's his name, Jahan Dotson to the Eagles, I was like, well, there's quite literally only one target in Washington now. So
Yep. There's
yeah,
who else does
I'm
he
so
have?
happy for Terry.
Is it Noah Brown
Yeah, and he's got Zach
and
Ertz and Austin Eckler
Zacchaeus?
and Olamide Zacchaeus. No shot, Zacchaeus.
I wonder if Brian Robinson is back for this game.
Um, I hope so. I love Brian Robinson. He should be, right?
The rushing touchdown vulture of my
Yeah.
fantasy quarterback.
Yeah. Well, he's a rushing touchdown vulture of my fantasy running back in the keeper league. I took Eckler, who's awesome, by the way. Good for
Yeah,
Eckler.
yeah,
It's
I
a
like
fun
Brian
team.
Robinson too. I
I do
love the
too.
way he runs. He's a really dope player.
I love B Rob. Hey, you got shot in the ass like 2 blocks from where I used to live in DC.
Oh yeah, he did. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Great. Okay, next game. We've got Chiefs Niners. This is Super Bowl rematch. How it's not even. I love how they do this. This game should be in prime time, but they're like, you know what? We'll put it at 4:25. Uh,
Yeah, we'll put the Jets on prime time again.
let's put the Jets on prime time because that's and you know what? The second Monday night game will make a Cardinals game. Uh, NFL schedule makers continue to blow my mind, but Chiefs Niners is an awesome game. The Niners are favored by a point and a half. It's in San Francisco. The over under is 47.5. This feels like I know that the Chiefs played the Ravens at the beginning of the year, but that Ravens I don't even recognize that Ravens team to the team we're watching now. This feels like the first real test for the Chiefs. This feels like the first game where if they're doing their BS, they might not win. Uh, I think guys are getting healthy for the Niners. I don't think we'll see McCaffrey, but the rest of the roster seems to be coming back. The Niners looked dominant in their game this week. I really don't know. This feels like okay, so this feels like the game that the Niners win, right? And then these two teams meet in the Super Bowl again, and the only footage we have of the two teams playing is this game, and it's overplayed, and it's overdone, and it's yada yada yada, right?
Sure.
But the Chiefs are coming off a bye week, and I'm sorry, I can't do it. I think I have to take the Chiefs. I have to take them to cover.
Yeah, this game sucks, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it
know it's
sucks to
gonna be a
pick,
lot
but
of
it's awesome.
it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch,
So
but
much fun.
I know it's gonna end in misery.
Yep.
And one thing that worries me about this is the 49ers don't have their kicker.
Yeah, a second
So
week in a row, their kicker's knocked out.
well, he has a high ankle sprain, so I don't know if he's gonna be back for this game or not. If he's out, you already know they're gonna go for a dumb fourth down and not get it,
Right.
and that's gonna be the game.
Wow, I hate how accurate that was, dude.
And then, Bucker's gonna come out and actually, you know what? This line is 1.5. I feel like there's a scenario where the Niners are up two and the Chiefs drive down, Bucker kicks the game winner, but they don't cover, and everyone in Vegas is extremely mad. They win by one.
Oh my God. It could happen.
It's such a
This
rat
game,
line. Oh,
1.5. Oh. I mean, here's the thing, dude. There's just so few opportunities. There are so few opportunities in life to be getting points for Patrick Mahomes.
this line is gonna flip by Sunday.
I think so. It's either going to go to pick 'em or it's going to go to 1 point for the Chiefs. But
Yeah,
we
you
we
don't
pick
get many
we're
opportunities
men
to.
and we're out here picking on Mondays, okay? The great
Yeah,
unknown.
yeah. Don't even know who's playing this week.
I don't even know.
For all I know, Debo could be out.
Right.
Jordan Mason's shoulder could be hurt, so he can cash the under last
Dude,
week.
I'm pretty sure you could put my 89-year-old grandfather in it running back for the Niners, dude.
It's so ridiculous. They just
It's
bring this.
ridiculous.
I don't. What was that guy's name?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they brought him in and he rushed for 99 yards. So
Oh, Isaac Garendo?
yeah, Garendo. That's what it was.
Yeah, awesome. Like what?
Yeah, yeah, super cool. Um,
But you don't know about Isaac Garendo, dude?
the third string on the
The
49ers.
fourth
No.
round pick, the fourth round
Oh,
pick
was he
from
that high?
Louisville. Yeah,
Oh,
the 129th pick from Louisville, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That John Lynch had his eye
When you
on for
click on
three
his when you
years.
click on his ESPN profile, his college highlights come up. Garendo, that guy.
God,
Um,
it's so annoying.
yeah, I think the Chiefs are gonna win. So, did you go Niners?
No, I didn't take the Niners. I took dude. I have been down this road so many times, and if I'm
We've all
wrong,
been down the road too many
I will
times, dude.
so happily lose this pick.
Same. That's the
I would
thing.
love to be wrong
This is an emotional hedge.
for sure.
This
Yeah,
is a
I mean,
sanity emotional hedge. Yeah.
yeah. And my grandpa would just be dying to watch this game. Chiefs
Oh,
Niners.
Chiefs, Niners, dude. The Mormon Bowl.
The Mormon Bowl. The Andy Reid versus Christian McCaffrey, even though he's out.
Yeah, dude. That's my favorite part about Mormons is they're all Niners fans because of Steve
Steve
Young.
Young. Yeah.
Yeah, so they all love Steve Young, and then the Holmgren tree blows into Andy Reid, who's a Mormon, and so for the past couple of years, they've just been happy no matter what happens in the Super Bowl. You know?
Yeah, dude. I remember I was watching last year with my grandpa, and he was like, I kind of want the Chiefs to win, but I don't really care. I love both these teams."
It's like, well,
I'm
damn
like,
it.
oh, must be nice, dude. Oh, I'm just over here, just like burning with rage of like that I have to watch either of these teams win a Super Bowl.
Well, it's the same with my grandpa, dude. He's like, Oh, well, I love that Andy Reid has so much tremendous success, but then he says something like, I just think the story of Brock Purdy is phenomenal. I just want to be happy like that.
You know what? I'm gonna be a man, Chuck. I'm gonna take the 49ers.
All right, dude.
I can't. I hate Patrick Mahomes, man.
Did you
I
have to
don't really
preface
hate
that
him.
on being a man, dude? You're going to emasculate me for being smart about this?
No, you're a bitch for taking Patrick Mahomes
Oh,
as an
dude. All
underdog.
right,
That's
fine.
what it is.
I'll take the Niners.
Well,
Do people
now
think I'm
now
a
all
bitch
that's
if I
left
take
is
the
the
Chiefs,
over.
dude? Do you think people think I'm a bitch if I take the Chiefs, dude?
Oh, you're smart if
No,
you
I'm
take the
sticking with the
Chiefs.
Chiefs, dude. I'm not stupid. I'm taking the Chiefs, man.
Oh man, I hope you're wrong. I'm gonna be
I hope
so
so
mad
too.
when Juju has like 125 yards again.
How mad are you gonna be when at the end of the year it's like 180 to 181, and this is the reason why I win?
Oh yeah, that would be brutal.
Be brutal. I'm not gonna touch the over under, dude, because the Chiefs defense actually seems really good. Um,
Yeah, well, we'll see, won't we?
we will.
I'm a big Brock Purdy fan this year.
Low key, this year you've turned the corner on Brock Purdy.
I think it's because I have to watch him every week because of Debo. I have fantasy stock in the 49ers, but he's just really good. I don't I
He,
can't say anything
he
else. He's just
is.
a really good QB.
He's just a good player.
I gotta
And
say
just
though, look for
yeah, what's
Jawan
up?
Jennings to have a big game.
First and Juwan. I love that guy.
Bird and
I
Jawan.
mean, I'm going to be cheering for the Niners.
Oh
Just so
yeah.
you know, I know that you think Brock Purdy's good, dude. And I like really appreciate that, but according to the Ringer, he's worse than Geno Smith and and Trevor Lawrence and Kyler Murray.
Oh yeah. I forgot we gotta go over those.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. Jordan Love still worse than Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
Dude, this
eight
list is a fucking
touchdowns in the last
joke.
2 weeks, but
He
sure.
doesn't watch football, dude. That's all that this list tells me.
No, he
Um,
just wants to piss everybody off. That's why he does it. It's a
yeah.
trap. It's a trap to
Yeah, but
make
it's a
people like your
fun trap.
dad mad.
Yeah, well, apparently the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
True.
All right. Sunday Night Football, Jets, Steelers.
Oh,
Steelers
you're
or
not
the
favorites.
Jets are 1.5 point favorites. Well, I
Wow.
guess the Monday night game changed a lot.
This is the best spot to take the Steelers, dude, when they're at home
I'm so
underdogs.
horny for the Steelers now. Home dogs, this is awesome. 37.5 point over under.
Jeez.
So I know that I'm a Steelers fan, so this is all going to come off as extreme, bias for the Steelers. But I found a fun stat today on the internet that I wanted to read to you because TJ Watt's the best defensive player in football. This is edge rushers and the percentage of times they get chipped on plays by the tight end. TJ Watt is 41.1%. The next closest is Jonathan Cooper at 22.9%. TJ Watt had 2 forced fumbles this week.
Yeah.
He gets chipped 20% more than anyone in the league. Max Crosby gets chipped 20% of the time. Myles Garrett, 20% of the time. TJ Watt, 44.1% of the time.
Yeah, he's
I
he's
love the
different, man.
Steelers. Dude, he's different. That was an
It's
unbelievable game.
It's crazy that I like whenever I turn on Steelers games, like he's the guy I want to watch. It's nobody else. It's nobody on offense. Well, it's sometimes George Pickens, but not for football reasons. Um,
Right.
it's
You got to see
if
if he
I'm
can
turning the
spell.
Steelers on, yeah, or just like I don't know, just catch a pass, celebrate, and have it called back. That's a George Pickens classic right there.
Yeah, dude, he's got to be like top of the list for most likely to pretend to shoot somebody and get the play called back, right?
Oh, dude, I loved that play against Jordan Lewis on the Cowboys when he just yanked his helmet after the game while he's walking off.
Not a lot of brain cells, dude.
So funny. But yeah, TJ Watt is incredible. And he
Yeah.
actually will probably win Defensive Player of the Year because Myles Garrett has been hurt.
And Aiden Hutchinson just went out for the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's if he doesn't win it, then NFL rigged.
NFL rigged. But yeah, like you said, the Steelers are home dogs. I love the Steelers here, actually. Watching this game, it looked like the Jets O line, even though the Jets offense looked more free, they looked to be doing a lot of things a lot better. Still looked like they were getting the Bills were managing to get to Rodgers quite a bit. And this feels like a spot where the Steelers are going to just be able to get to Rodgers at will. Um, I'm not sure what the status of Alex. It says Alex Highsmith is questionable. If we get Highsmith back, that's huge. We have been missing Highsmith and Nick Herbig for the past 2 weeks, who are both our Nick Herbig is Highsmith's backup edge rusher. So anybody, the two guys that are supposed to play opposite of TJ Watt haven't been playing. If we could get either of them back for this week, that would be huge. Our center went down. Looks like he's questionable with an ankle, was seen in a walking boot, but that's never stopped a Steeler before.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, the Steel. I feel bad for this dude. We had some awful bummer injuries to our O line. We lost our rookie offensive tackle who was playing really well to some knee surgery a couple weeks ago. Steelers offense still blows. There's nothing inspiring about watching that team's offense. I like us against the Jets this week. Call me crazy.
No, I mean, I don't think you're crazy. I just don't see how the Steelers win this without a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, that's fair.
'Cause
No, it's
the
true.
Jets are the Jets are pretty solid on defense.
Hmm.
I mean, they held Josh Allen to what 23 points tonight. So that in Justin Fields' world, that's like 6 or 9. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be taking a Boswell prop in this game, and probably another Allen Lazard touchdown. But yeah, I'll take the Jets. I'll take them -1.5. They have to win this game, just for like I know they're not like out of the division or anything, but I think
Yeah, no, this game definitely means more to the Jets, right? You lose this
yeah.
game. Again, you're not out of it, but man, it means more to them. The Steelers, this is also a classic like Tomlin lose spot too. Like coming off of a nice win, the Jets roll over. Doesn't really matter at the 4-3. We're happy. Bunch of Tomlin speak and then get out of it. But I like the Steelers.
I wonder
Home
if there's
dogs. That's
any.
a great Tomlin spot.
It is, yeah. I wonder if there's any stats on like veteran quarterbacks playing against the Steelers defense. Like, you know how Flacco kind of tore you guys up?
Yeah, but
I
we
wonder
tore
if
up Cousins a
Rodgers.
couple weeks earlier.
Well, Kirk Cousins, Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, one of them doesn't belong. Also, it was
Yeah,
week 1, wasn't it?
it was week one. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
you're
I
right.
would just be curious to see if like the veteran quarterbacks know how to deal with Tomlin's game plan a little bit better.
It's a great
I guess
question.
we'll see, but it's
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
as long as this game doesn't kick off at 10 p.m., I'll be happy.
yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't kick off at 10 p.m. That was miserable 2 weeks ago.
This
Um,
feels like an under also.
God, doesn't it at 37 and a half?
Yeah, because what was it? It was 23-20 tonight.
Steelers put up 30 this week against the Raiders, but that doesn't really mean anything.
Oh man, I might just go full zag on this and take the over.
Oh, I love it.
That's crazy. Let's get crazy this week. I just went 13 for 13, so I should do um everything opposite of what I did last week.
There you go.
I'll take the over 37.5. That's 20 to 18. 6 field goals from Boswell. Sign me up.
Beautiful. Good. I'm going to avoid that.
Yep.
Like the plague. Um, all right. First of the Monday night slate, the only game that I'll be watching next Monday night. Um, unless for
That's a
some reason
lie.
it's something crazy. Yeah, it's a lie. Um, Ravens Bucks. It's a lie. Ravens Bucks. Bucks or Ravens favored in Tampa Bay. They're favored by 3.5. The over under is 48.5. Bucks coming off of a game where they scored 51 points against Spencer Rattler and the Bomber Saints. Ravens coming off of another really convincing and dominant win against a good Commanders team. Uh you want to go first here? I mean, I don't care. I'll go first, but why don't you go first here? I know what I want.
Sure, I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'll take them -3.5, and I'll take the over.
Yeah. I'll go all three with you there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
48 seems low for both these offenses.
yeah, and don't let the fact that the Bucks defense had a good week against Spencer Rattler fool you. That team is bad on defense, and I don't know if there's a single person on that team that's going to be able to stop them from running the ball for
Well, they
like
they still
200
put up
yards.
27 too. I
Yeah,
know one of
no,
them was a
true,
Shaheed touchdown, but
but still, um,
yeah,
the
should
Ravens
be
the
fun
Ravens could
game.
score 40 by themselves. Should be fun. Should be really fun. And
I'm just
you know,
cheering for
Baker's
points.
Baker's a fun guy to cheer for. But the Ravens are monsters. Part of my grandpa's phone call with me this week was like, the freaking Ravens got that big running back. They're freaking good.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
all
the 6'5", 270-pound running back.
like, oh, Grandpa, you mean Derrick Henry? He's been in the league for like 8 years, 9 years now.
Yeah.
He's a freaking. What are we gonna do? Who can stop that? Freaking ridiculous.
You can't.
It's
I
all
don't know who can stop it, man. He's
literally
been so ridiculous this year. He's on track for like uh just
another
under
2,000
2,000
yard
yards.
season.
Yeah, and
Dude,
like
if he has a
22
third 2,000
touchdowns.
yard season, he's one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I think he already is, but
No,
that
I
would
agree,
cement
but
it.
that would put the nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's 100 yards ahead of the next best running back in the league.
Yeah.
He's at 704 yards already
Yeah.
and 8 touchdowns. He's
I
averaging
wonder
6 yards a carry.
I wonder what his over under was for the season before it started. Like 1,200
I don't
maybe.
know. Yeah, probably like 12.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
gonna
even want to think
smash
about it.
that.
Dude,
Side
he
note,
might
since
get
we're
150 this week.
he might, yeah. Side note, since we're talking about Baker, how weird
Dude,
was it that Texas put that flag in his jersey in the middle of the field on Saturday?
I didn't see that.
You didn't? The Texas team came out after they beat Oklahoma and stabbed the flag into the middle of the field, and it was
Oh, because
Baker's
Baker
jersey.
used to do that. Baker used to do
Yeah, but
that
it's
all the
like
time.
these guys don't even know Baker. That was like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude, but the hate runs deep, man.
It's so
Baker was
weird.
so inflammatory in college, dude. I'll never forget how polarizing of a figure he was. When
That's
he was on the
like
sideline grabbing his cock, pointing at the other team's coach, I was like, okay.
he was so awesome. They asked him about it this week, and he was like, I guess, I'm still just living rent free in their heads 10 years later.
That's an awesome answer. That's the
Yeah,
right answer,
weird,
by the way.
weird move by Texas, in my opinion. It's just like a guy that no one on the team played against. So
Super weird. All right, we made it, dude. Final game. Chargers, Cardinals, Monday night, ESPN Plus exclusive. Chargers are 2.5 point favorites in Arizona. Chargers coming off of a pretty solid win this week. You know, one thing for sure, they can run the ball. They play really tough defense, and Every week Herbert gets a little bit more healthy, they look a little bit more dangerous. And the Cardinals are miserable. I hate watching them. We were talking about it. Something about it just doesn't make any sense. I think Kyler Murray's good. I think they have good offensive players. Their defense is obviously very bad, but other teams have bad defenses and still put up efforts that look more cohesive than what the Cardinals are putting out. And it's probably just execution, lack of time together. But I like the Chargers here, 2.5 on the road.
I don't know what to pick, man. Because this
There's
is a spot.
there's a
This is
compelling
the
argument
spot.
for Kyler to for Kyler to go off.
Well, another thing is Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know if he's going to play this week.
Mm. And
So,
so they're not going to be forcing the ball in a single direction. That actually changes a lot for how I would look at this game.
yeah, because I don't know. It's just like the Cardinals always do weird stuff. And like right when you count them out, they're just like, "Oh yeah, we're actually going to put up 45 points this week."
Yep. No, it's a good point. And it's at home. It's on Monday night. How much do you think a ticket to this game is?
Mm,
Monday Night Football.
seven, $28.
$23.
Ooh, close.
Good get. Good get there. Yeah, I don't, Arizona. Wow, God, you kind of got me thinking now. This does feel
I'm
like a
gonna take
classic.
them.
Yeah, I might take the Cards with you here.
We're gonna be so mad.
Yeah, dude, because we text like once a week. We text that we're swearing off this team, but no, you're right. This is, of course, now that I've given up on them, this is where they'll win. But if we're gonna
We
give up
might
on them,
have
we
to
gotta
run the
both do it
ball this
together.
week too.
No, dude, the thing is if Marvin Harrison isn't playing, and they're not just forcing everything that they do to him,
Oh, you mean the play where Kyler drops back and stares right at him for 5 seconds and then heaves one?
yeah, and then just
That
rifles it into double coverage.
yeah, that's my favorite.
Or he's staring so hard at it that the D lineman just takes a step back and bats the ball because Kyler Murray's 5'8".
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Kyler, dude, you can't sell the play with your eyes that hardcore if you're that undersized.
Uh, yeah.
So,
I don't know, man. Screw. I'll take the Cardinals. Whatever. I'll be
okay,
cheering
you know
for
what?
them.
I'll go
So,
with you. I'll go with you. I mean, it doesn't matter to
all
me.
right.
So, another good week, dude. Thank you for doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who listened and made it this far. We thank you for being faithful listeners. Thank you, Holly. Shout out Holly, as always.
Shout out Holly.